Hi, everyone. I'm your host, Patty Giarrusso, and this is Let's Talk Pets on Society Bites Radio. Today, we welcome back Kathy Pobloskie from Lost Dogs of America. And Kathy and I are going to talk today about what we're thankful for doing what we do. We're thankful for so many things when we are reuniting lost pets. And some of those things are just simple, like the volunteers that help us, the finders of lost pets that do what we ask them to do, and the owners that also hang in there and don't lose hope. And we're really thankful when people all work together for the goal of helping reunite the pets. And as most of you know, and if you listen, Kathy Pobloskie is the co-founder of Lost Dogs of America, and she's the director and founder of Lost Dogs of Wisconsin. And she plays a huge role in the Lost Dogs of America organization, reuniting pets and helping to get other people involved with this important thing that we do. Kathy joins us every month, and we talk about lost and found pets and all of the methods and ways that you, as a finder of a lost pet, or maybe you as an owner of a lost pet, can do the things that are necessary to get them home safe and reunited with their families. So welcome to the show, Kathy.
Thanks, Patty. Thanks for having me. And I think it's a great topic. I really do, because we do have so much to be thankful for.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe this year has gone by so fast, and here it is, like Thanksgiving's right around the corner. And so I thought, it's always a good time to thank the people and the volunteers that help us, you and me, and our organizations, and then those, that help our groups. I mean, it's so important. We try to thank them every day for what they do, but to really come out and say it and let them know how important they are to us.
Right. And I think it's a good time to remind people that an estimated 40 to 60% of animals in shelters are lost pets. That was an ASPCA estimate with some real, numbers behind it. And so when people help us, whether it be our volunteers or our fans, get pets back home, they are actually saving lives, because they're taking they're creating space in shelters for animals that truly need it. Those lost pets don't need to be there.
Right.
And often lost pets will end up at a shelter in some point. And if they can get back home, that really is truly helping save lives.
Right. Yeah. And I don't think people think about that sometimes, that those numbers are staggering, absolutely staggering. Mm-hmm. So that makes it even more important that people that do help us realize what an important thing they do every day,
Right. There's always so much focus being put on adoption, which is great, right? And adopting pets and that's a great thing. But, I think it was Rob Goddard of Helping Lost Pets that coined the phrase, we should actually have a back home revolution, because that would really help too, Yeah. So all the organizations that are now starting to understand that, a big part of the puzzle of saving lives in shelters is getting lost pets back home.
Right.
And what amazes me, having been doing this for almost 10 years, is that when we first started our little Facebook page, which, I was so excited when it got to the first 1,000 fans, I'd spend literally hours on the computer at night monitoring comments, making suggestions, and trying to keep the ship steered in the right direction, because it was really easy for it to go off course and for there to be rude comments and, poor advice being given and stuff like that. And so that I spent a lot of time. I don't have to do that anymore, because now the fans do it for us. It's just great to see that how the message has spread. And when a really scruffy dog is posted online and somebody makes a rude comment, fans are really quick to jump in and say, hey, don't assume that dog was, dumped or abused or, neglected by its owner. It could be just a lost pet that's been missing a long time. I don't have to say that anymore.
Yeah.
There's lots of other people willing to say it.
and I see the same thing. I see the people that have been around in the group for a long time doing the same thing, and it's great that they do that. And I think it's kind of the new people, the new joiners or new members or whatever, that are more apt to say that, and they get schooled pretty fast.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
and it's good, but sometimes it goes off on a tangent, and you have to put the kibosh on it. So
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. I mean, it's not that I can't not look at all, but
I
I mean,
know.
it's certainly the fans are just wonderful,
Yeah.
and we're getting close to reaching on Wisconsin's page 90,000 fans, and I
Oh
just
my
cannot.
gosh.
That just amazes me that
Yeah.
there's that many people that follow our page and share our posts, and
Well,
it's
I think these groups and these organizations that have started have really helped bring more awareness to it, and also the fact that what we do really does matter, like you said. I mean, we're a huge part of the puzzle in getting the pets out of the
mhm,
shelters, and so
right.
it does matter. And before, when these lost groups weren't there and all these people that help weren't there, well, they were there, but it wasn't as organized.
Right.
It makes a huge difference when you look at the numbers of pets that we reunite every month, and you think, okay, what happened before that? And
Right.
the people that go
Right.
out and search or go hang flyers or go, do whatever they do to help others, it makes a huge difference.
Right. And I think Best Friends is collecting the data, and they just released some new numbers, which of course are still way too high, but
Mm,
so encouraging. Because when we started, and again, there's lots of reasons for the success. But when I kind of got into animal welfare, about 5 million pets were being killed in shelters every
mm,
year. And now the newest number that they have released is less than 800,000. And that's
mm.
just, again, in about the last 10 or 12 years. So
Wow.
just a huge decrease. So it's so
Yeah.
nice to see that number finally come under a million. And it was up as high as about 20 million in the 70s, when there
Oh my
really was
gosh.
no focus on saving animals in shelters whatsoever.
Yeah.
But just to see those numbers, drop and drop, and now we're on the home stretch, and I just still do believe that getting pets back, the lost pets back home, can just do so much to help
Right.
bring those numbers down to where we want them to be, which is of course zero, or
Right.
as close to zero as possible. Yeah.
Right, absolutely. And we're talking about, our fans, meaning, and you use that because you use a page and I use a group. And so I always talk members, but I guess there are fans too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially if we help them, they're definitely our fans. But I also want to thank the people that support us, because we're nonprofit organizations and people support us and with donations, and we want to thank them. We want to thank, the police that help, and the animal control officers, and, the vets. I mean, there's so many different parts now. All these people that we've met and we interact with on a daily basis that are all part of this giant thing.
Yep.
It it
Uh,
makes it hits so many people in the community now.
I totally agree. And again, the whole, getting more pets microchipped and making sure that people's microchips are up to date. That
Hmm.
message is getting spread, and it's helping. I mean, we had just in my little area here, 3 cats reunited in the last couple of weeks. Long-term lost cats because of their
Mm-mm.
microchip.
Yeah.
And just, just makes me so happy to see that people are getting their cats microchipped, keeping the information up to date. So when they do get lost, they end up in a shelter. They don't need a new home. They can just go back home.
Right, right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know. And spreading the word about that, and the being necessary to have a chip. It's not just, oh, maybe I will. It's necessary, I think. But it's even
Yep.
more necessary if you have it, is to keep it updated, like you said. And I think all these stories, we're seeing more and more stories of these long lost animals being reunited with their families, and that brings the awareness that we need. It helps us spread that word about how important those microchips are. And so even the news people. We have to thank them as well for spreading that,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I have a Google alert on for any sort of, good story that might come across from anywhere in the country so that we can share that, because those stories get shared a lot of times when it's a long lost pet that gets home because of a microchip, and it just keeps reinforcing that thought in people's heads that they need to go out and get their pet microchip.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think this is a show that's seen. I don't know if it's just a Florida show, but it's an ABC show. And yes, the other night, I didn't even know it was going to be on. And somebody messages me on or posts on my Facebook, Patty, I just saw you on the list. I'm like, what? Because the one cat that was just lost for 5 years and thankfully had an updated microchip. It was lost from Ohio, found in Sarasota, Florida, after 5 years and 1,100 miles away. And an ABC person did a story on it, and then the list picked it up and they did a story on it, and I missed it. I didn't even see it.
No. I have heard. I don't know when that show was on, but I have heard of that before.
Yeah, it's on right after the news, I guess.
Okay. I'm not sure it's on after the news here, but I need to look that up because maybe there's some old, like some of the older editions of it are searchable online. Yeah. Huh.
So, but I think that's great. Stories like that, they really tug at your heart and they give people hope, and so we have to thank our, news people out there that really are paying attention and helping us spread that word. It's important. Yeah.
And on that same note, I'm very thankful for the people, whether it be a shelter employee or a friend of the family or whoever, that takes that heartwarming video or picture of a reunion, because boy, those just tug at your heartstring, and again just reinforce the message that those pictures, those images are just they say a picture's worth 1,000 words, and it sure is when you can see some the love in somebody's eye when they're reunited with their pet.
I know.
And
I've been thinking about that too. Yeah, because we don't get enough of those, I don't think. We used to always ask for a reunion picture, and I really have to start please give us one, because they are important. And every day we have people whose pets have been missing for a long time, and every time a story of a reunion come up, that's been like today we had one. The kitty was gone 86 days, and it just came home on its own, just decided to come home. But it gives those others that have their cats missing for a while, it gives them hope, and
exactly.
So the pictures and the reunion stories and the reunion videos are really important, and we do appreciate them. But I don't know. There's just so many. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have to say I am thankful every day and for our volunteers. They're just amazing. They just are truly what they do, and how tirelessly they work at it. It's just humbling to me that they put so much effort into. Most of our volunteers are very long term, been with us years and years and years. And they just and it's like we never seem to get a chance to just kind of stop and rest, for a minute or two. One dog's home and there's 3 more coming in, 3 more reports coming in. So it's like we never stop to pat each other on the back enough, I don't think, because we're just so busy all the time. But that they just keep at it, day after day, year after year. I'm so thankful for that.
I know, I am too, because it is true. Like Terry Creamer I call her my right hand. If I didn't have her, I do not know what I would do. She is on from the minute she gets up until sometimes after I go to bed, she's still on, and she is so dedicated, and she helps me so much, I just can't even begin to thank her, as well as my admins and my moderators too. I mean, there's such dedication. There's such dedication with those people that help